And that was proven yesterday. Both can be true, both can be right, and it's not a slight either way.
No, I mean, listen, Matt, beating TCU got way too much credit, and because TCU had been a playoff team and a national championship contender last year, the other two losses really didn't mean very much. I mean, beating a woebegone Nebraska team that pretty much everybody in the country can raise their hand and say they've beaten, and a terrible Colorado State team. It was just the attention. It was a nova in the sky, and we all jumped in, and I'm glad I went along for the ride. I think I'm detouring now. Maybe time started looking for some real contenders. It doesn't take away from the story that was the first 3 weeks of the college football season. It will surface again briefly Saturday, depending on the outcome against Caleb Williams and USC, maybe down the road against some better Pac-12 opponents. But for the most part, if you park your bus in Boulder, do it, you spend your own money right now, because I think it's going to be a tougher sell for national publications and broadcast companies, other than Fox, of course.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get in on it. They're in on it again this weekend, but look, Deion's done his job. He's put his program and put it out in the national spotlight. Now, does he make it about him most of the time? Well, yeah, that's also his job. But at the end of the day, when you look at who they are a 6-6 team at best. By math alone, that's average, right? 6-6, 500, your average. That's who they are as a football team. They're not great. They're not bad. They're just not good enough to compete. They're not a top 25 team, basically. And that's fine. They got ahead of schedule for a few weeks, and he went down that schedule. But this back and forth this morning of the people kicking them and saying, see, I told you so, and then the people defending them saying, why are you a hater? There doesn't need to be any of that. If you call it like a football fan or call it like a football person like we are, they're average, and that's okay. But they're above average when it comes to getting the spotlight.
No, I mean, there's a lot of schadenfreude going around, but Prime brings that on. But I think that's what makes him great. I mean, I really liked what he said after the game. He said, take your shots now. I mean, he's confident. He's not Millie Mouth. He's not playing stupid junior high games like a certain Ole Miss coach. I mean, he spits it out. He lets you know who he is at all times, and I respect that. And quite frankly, he handled the loss just as well as he handled a win. And I mean, while Colorado will fade, Deion's not going anywhere, and I think it's most interesting how he handles the portal and recruiting, because he is going to still affect a lot of important programs by the players that he is able to attract.
Yeah, and foundation's been laid, and that is for certain. And like we said, they're going to get the spotlight again with USC. They're going to get beat again pretty handily by USC, and then what they do going forward is something we'll continue to keep an eye on.
Give me something I can feel. Light a cigarette just so I can breathe.